today here with in and out of the garden. I decided I wanted to make a fairy garden, and I know there's been a lot of fairy garden videos out there, but I've never made one. And I just kept thinking, as I'd walk around my yard, if I made one, I could use this and I could use that, and there's just so many things. So what I tried to do is gather up supplies from the garden, from the house, that wouldn't cost any money, things that I already had on hand. I had this bowl out there, which I usually keep succulents in during the summer. And this is just an old plate because I didn't have anything to catch the water underneath it. I've already glued up the little fairy house here, but what I started with was this, just a styrofoam cup. You can see I just cut out a little doorway there, which is right here. The reason I did that off camera was because I knew just gluing every little piece on there was going to take me a long time. And so what I gathered for that was just some of this bark mulch. And I just picked up pieces, random pieces, various sizes, thicknesses, and it did take about half an hour to kind of glue that together. And then these pine cones I already had left over from Christmas, and I kind of wanted one that would set a little crooked because I didn't want it to be a perfect little house. So that's all glued up and ready to go. I do have a couple little succulents here that I bought that I may put in there. This one's called Calico Tomentosa, or cinnamon. And this one is called, oh my goodness, the writing's so small I don't know if I can read it. Graptopedilum Murasaki. Sorry if I have mutilated those names. I do have one fairy in the house, which I had in a lantern, so I will probably be using that. And then I have these little, well, they say glass gems, decorative accents from another project I did, I don't know, years ago. So we may use those. But some of the main things that I gathered up earlier in the week, these are from, oh gosh, let me think now. I can't remember. It'll come to me in a minute. These are echinacea seed heads. Salvia. These are salvia seed heads. This is heuchera seed head, because we're going to need some foliage and there's not much growing in the garden right now, but I do have these things. These are all seed heads from miscanthus grasses, actually from two different ones. I'm going to set those down there. This is from a tree, which I personally hate, and I can't think of the name of it either, but it'll come to me also. And then I have this. This is just a leveling wedge that I thought I might try to make a swing out of. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure how much room we'll have. And then I have a branch here if we do decide to make the swing, because I thought this will kind of be a good place for it to swing off of, since it kind of comes at a horizontal angle there. And I also have this, and this is from an asparagus fern, and everything kind of wants to fall apart. I did try to stabilize everything that's dried out by putting this polyurethane coating on it a few days ago when I collected everything. So yeah, shall we get to it? I have put just some seed starting soil in here because of succulents. I figured it'd be a nice dry type soil for them. So I'm not sure how that'll work. I'm gonna reposition the camera so that you can see what I'm doing instead of watching me. So bear with me. Well, apparently getting a better position on the camera and the lighting was just a pipe dream. I did get a new tripod, and I haven't quite got it figured out yet, but we'll move on. If I didn't say it earlier, I did use a glue gun when I was putting all these pieces on this little fairy house. And I still got it set over here because, and turned on because I wasn't sure if I'm done with it yet or not. This has come from an idea in my head, but you know, putting all the elements together and kind of figuring out where everything goes. And I'm sure I'm going to do some painting on some of this dried foliage. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to come together. I do know that I need a little bit more soil in here. And like I said, I just used some seed starting soil. So this is some I picked up at a big box store. Nothing special, I'm sure. And yeah, I am quite the mess maker when I'm doing anything, regardless of what it is. So, kind of want my house, not in the middle, but towards the front of it. Let me get up so I can see how that looks. I want it to kind of continue with that lean there. I have some fairy lights, which, well, I'm not sure I'm going to use them or not inside the house. Chances are I probably will. I have some blue ones and some white ones, and I think it's going to need something, because otherwise it's a little bit dark. And as far as putting the dark mulch on there, I thought I might end up hitting it with a little bit of white paint for highlights to kind of pick up a little bit better on that. So our fairy's going to go in there somewhere, and I'm not sure where at just yet, but I'm going to set her in there so that she has her place. Gosh, it's hard figuring out what you want to use first, but I know I need some taller things towards the back. I think we can just, I know I can't paint these because they're kind of falling apart just as I touch them, so they're pretty fragile. Our fairy's going to have to shrink a little bit to get inside her house, but she's magical. She can probably do that, so I'm not going to worry about that. But the scale's off, obviously. But it's a magical place, so that's okay. Oh, I remembered what this is from. This is from the dreaded sumac tree. If y'all aren't familiar with that, they like very dry, sandy areas. And so here in northwest Oklahoma, home of the little Sahara sand dunes, we have lots of that. And sumac, wild sumac, it gets these little seed heads, and that's what this is, a little branch with seed heads on it. And they're kind of like a propeller. So the wind catches them and they go far and wide. And I don't have any sumac growing in my yard, but I tend to get all kinds of little branches and seed heads everywhere. And so when I see a little sumac seedling popping up, I get rid of it right then and there, because you don't want to have this stuff growing wild all over. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but Daisy, our youngest little cat, is going crazy because I won't let her in. Generally they have them run the house, but here in my seed starting room, I let them in here the other day and they just made a horrible mess. So I'm not going to do that again. And so they're quite spoiled, curious. And she's the worst because she's the youngest. So, okay, for the salvia seed heads, they actually have a little gray and tan color to them, which almost comes out as almost, I don't know, depending on the lighting, almost comes out as a little bit blue. So I've had a little trouble trying to decide whether to color this stuff up or to leave it all natural as kind of a winter fairy garden. I mean, I'm sure they get those too. We'll try that there. Now, everything is subject to move, so. I didn't have a whole lot of the hickory seed heads left, but they certainly are pretty. I don't think we need it quite that long, but it will bring some depth of color. You know what? I think instead of painting all this stuff, I will just go with the winter look. Why not? Now the echinacea seed heads, which the birds had not gotten to, they're going to have to get a little bit shorter, I'm afraid. Save those. You never know, we might use them. What else? Okay, well, I can already see she's going to have to move away from the house because that just isn't going to look right. I do kind of like the way that's laying, though. I think probably I should try to get my bigger things in here first. So these are, like I said, from miscanthus grass, the seed heads, but they're actually two different varieties. So some of them look a little bit different, and then some of them the seeds have just blown away, so they look different. But they do have a beautiful, I don't know, fairy-esque shape. I may not need my pruners for that. Scissors may work. You guys are more than welcome to leave comment on how I could have done this better, or how you would do it if it was yours, or what you would do if you were making a fairy garden. Maybe getting a little too much height on there. I'm going to have to hop up and take another look. It kind of needs some color. But while I did spray the preservative on there, I don't think they're going to hold up to any kind of paint. So we're going to go with what we have. No, that one has what looks to be, darker areas. I don't know if it's dirt or what exactly. Or just some seeds that have not quite blown away yet. makes a nice snap, doesn't it? Okay, guys, I gotta take a look at it again. These kind of look like they're falling forward. I don't want that. Okay, I think we better put some plants in there. I did put these in a little bit of water to soak up, and these are just some little disposable, it says 5.5 ounce, little disposable cups that you can buy at Walmart or any big box store, I suppose. I think because that has color in it, we need to put that up here by the house. This one was just, because of the brown on it, it was just so unusual looking and so soft that I just had to get it. Well, I don't know if I want this sitting right next to each other. Yeah. I'm going to put this one up front instead. Yeah. Trying to get some of the dirt off the leaves without blowing it completely all over my room. I'm going to put these in kind of like stepping stones or a little path. They're kind of sinking in this soft soil though. But since the plants have already been watered, I'm probably not going to water this stuff. Not today anyways. Realize I think some of these are different sizes. Daisy's really going to Daisy, stop it. She wants what she wants when she wants it. As do all cats, don't they? Okay, well that's looking okay, but I think it may be missing something. I think if I put her a little farther from the house, you won't notice the scale quite so much. Okay, guys, give me a minute. I want to run out to the yard. There is something else I want to get. Okay, so I'm back. And what I brought in is called stone crop. And I bought this a few years ago. I kind of, it is a sedum. And I thought it might be kind of like Proven Winners lemon jade sedum. But during the fall and the winter, it changes colors. And it's very hardy here. You can see the yellows, the oranges, the reds. Anyways, it's actually very beautiful. And then during the summer, if it's in the shade, it holds on to the greener color. And then if it's in the sunlight, it becomes the lighter chartreuse green. So it's just a beautiful plant, and it spreads very easily. Very easily to take a piece of it and move it around in your garden. So I did wet it down a little bit before I brought it in because I really don't want to wet this soil yet, since the succulents have already been watered. But I thought that might add a little bit of color to what we have going on here. Kind of want it where it's going to lay down a little bit there. Yeah, I should have brought something in for my hands, but I didn't. I hope I wasn't in front of the view of the camera the whole time there. Now we'll put our little fairy in there. That'll add just a little bit of color. Some of it I got really dirty. I don't think we need the sumac, and I know the poor girl doesn't want it in her yard, so just like I don't. So we'll leave it out and throw it in the bin. I'm not sure if you all like it. I think it turned out pretty good. You see how things are falling apart there. So it's very delicate. So it won't be able to go anywhere near the cats, of course, or where they can get to it. So I'll leave it here in my growing room. Thank you all for joining me. And if you have any comments, anything I could change or do better, please leave me a note in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. Share with a friend. So we're going to call this my winter fairy garden. Thank you all. See you in another video. Bye.